Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd, looking like a flamboyant medieval prince in my new purple chair. I don't know where we got this from, but I like it. It feels nice. Before we get into this episode, I need you to head towards patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast if you want to become official sipper, if you want to make us official. Live stream episode every Friday, bonus episodes on a Monday, exclusive access to things. It's where it's all going on. And speaking of exclusive access, Dan, 23rd of September, we're doing the SSE Arena. Tea With Me live. It's going to be a huge spectacle. We've got a few surprises planned, and we are putting out the last quantity of tickets, the last helping of tea. You know, the pot is sitting there. It was full at the start. Now there's enough left for one cup. So if you want a cup of tea, get your ticket. Tickets are going to go out when roughly for this? We're hoping
this morning they'll have gone live. So.
This morning the tickets will have gone out. They are quite literally the last tickets we can sell for SSE. We can't sell any more. Otherwise, the hall has to change shape and all that kind of thing. And we're not doing that. So these are the last tickets. Before we get into this episode, we are sponsored by none other than Manscaped. Studios changed slightly, but Manscaped are still the same. Look at this. Clear groin shaving gel. Ball deodorant, just deodorant as well. It's weird when Manscaped come out with a product that is just like fairly standard thing. You know, they're like, oh, there's got to be some ball connection here, but there isn't always. That's just deodorant for under your arms, and that deodorant's for under your scrotum, if you're still allowed to say that. Manscaped have everything. The number one in men's below the belt grooming products. They've got a perfect performance package. They've got beard trimmers. You know, if you're a gentleman or lady who's that way inclined, you can shape it up with that. They've got everything. They've been sponsoring the podcast for a long time because the sippers enjoy their products. Go to manscaped.com, use the code TEAWITHME for 20% off and free shipping. And speaking of hair, my guest for today, an episode we're recording today, has just walked in the studio, but don't say anything. But that is a hairy man. That is a hairy man right there. We're also sponsored by none other than NordVPN. Now, what is a VPN? It's a virtual private network. I know what it is, but in case you don't, I'll tell you what it is. It's a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online. It allows you to be, Dan, am I right in saying, it puts you in a secure tunnel?
Yeah, we know how much you love tunnels.
Pardon? You know how much I love tunnel? This is a virtual tunnel you get into so nobody can see your online data or reveal your IP address or location. If you're going on holiday this summer, NordVPN can help you get the cheapest deal on flights, because they do that. Once you search for flights once, then they know you're looking flights, so they jack the price up. You can change your virtual location by selecting a server in a country of your choice to see the pricing differences across the globe and choose the best deal. So we could be on the Mozambique Skyscanner. It's the best one. Take your cybersecurity to the next level with NordVPN's threat protection feature. You don't even need to connect to a VPN server to make it work. I can't even believe that. Grab your exclusive NordVPN deal. This is all obviously in the bio in the description of this episode. By going to nordvpn.com/teawithme, they get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan. And every purchase of 2-year plans will receive a bonus month on top. I can't be held back from this episode. This episode is what a slap that was, is one of the best Tea With Me episodes in recent times. Great episode. Willie T, returning favourite. Bronagh Diamond on for her first appearance on Tea With Me. Let me tell you, this was an absolute blast. You're going to love this episode. I could wax lyrical about it, but I'm not going to hold you back from it any further. This is a Tea With Me episode with my friends William Thompson and Bronagh Diamond. Willie, you've done the podcast loads of times, but yeah. Bronagh, I always ask guests. I haven't done this in ages. People want me to bring back this question to start the podcast.
Right, okay.
Do you drink tea?
I do drink tea.
Much tea do you drink?
I'm more of a coffee drinker, right? But I'm married to an Englishman, and he is a weirdo. I know, me, Bronagh, Chucky R, la, 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 la. He is one of those weird people that doesn't drink tea or coffee, but his family's tea obsessed.
Right.
So they're, as soon as you come into their house, it's just a cup of tea set down in front of you. You know, it's not even... The English are... I thought Irish people were like that but the English are kind of worse.
Yeah, especially in places like Yorkshire and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They're very picky about their tea as well, aren't they? Like, there has to be Yorkshire tea. If it's not Yorkshire, it's shite.
They have smaller cups in England.
They do!
And they drink like this.
I never.
Maybe I'm just thinking
No,
of
that's
family.
the queen.
Yeah,
The thing
alright.
is, though, my uncle. See if you give him a cup of tea and it's not at the brim, right?
Yeah.
Brim in Irish means fart, by the way. So every time I say that, it makes me laugh. If the cup isn't to the brim, like nearly falling over, he goes, "What am I, fucking English or something?" Like, I don't know what that means. I was like, what does it mean? And he'd go, fucking, is there a war on or something? I go, well, what are you, English or what? Of course there's a war on.
Dads love tea-based like I've never made my dad a cup of tea, and he said, "Son, that's brilliant, thank you." That's
it
my
always-
mission in life. He go, "Is a cow there? Is a cow there?" Fuck's sake.
I once heard my English friend calling it maiden's piss. And it took me ages to figure it. I was like, what? And she went, maiden's piss, Bronagh. And I went,
Kieran Bartlett was definitely in a
that mean?
band called Maiden's Piss
Maiden's
in high school.
partly because it was
It was
really
an Iron
light.
Maiden tribute act that he was in.
Yeah. I
Maiden's
like that.
piss.
Who made this cup of tea is a perfect cup of tea,
You like
might
it?
I say.
Tony
yeah.
made that?
It has to be
Come on, Tony.
milky but strong. Do you know what I mean?
You're in Hollywood now, Bron.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in Hollywood. Oh, really? Oh, I'm definitely in Hollywood by the. I still can't get over that child's play frame out the back.
No, I think you're talking about a public playground.
It's not a public playground.
It's out someone's garden.
It's somebody's
Next
garden.
Sebastian, we got you a play park.
Brona came in here and went, "There's a climbing frame around the corner in some kid's garden and it doesn't look like it's going to blow down." Now, but there's also a full playground here. I think you've seen the playground and went,
No.
"Fuck these kids in Hollywood."
No, it's actually their back garden. It's because there's a house with nice glazed windows right there and the climbing frame. Double fucking glazed, right? Not even council, they're white. And I was like, and there's a sign outside that says, like, you know, parking for the resident. And I just thought to myself, that's the difference in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you're a resident. Where I'm from, you're a tenant, right? It's different. All my mail says to the tenant, and it's red, right? But this kid's climbing on one of these, you know, with a proper. Bet his daddy didn't. Bet she has a daddy to put it up, right?
You're walking around Hollywood seeing all these dads. being like,
Here we go. Endangered species. I was looking before, funnily enough, and there was this thing in America, and it was all bring your dad to school day. And I went, you fucking wouldn't get that in West Belfast anyway. Everybody'd be looking at. There'd be one dad.
Bring
there.
your ma's boy to school.
The new one. Which one are you? I did. I used to have a mate. I used to have a mate that would come into school every day and say, "My new daddy," right? And I remember like saying to her one day, I used to be jealous because she got new daddies and I didn't have any daddies, right? And I remember saying to her, like, "Your new daddy? Oh, is that the one that got you the opal fruits?" Showing me age here. And she went, "No, that was me other new daddy. He's not my daddy anymore.
Right.
This is my new daddy." And I used to be like, she's a lucky bastard.
Baller move to come in with the opal fruits, like.
Aye. Right away, he was like, she's brilliant.
Yeah.
Her ma swallows get the opal fruits. I'm vulgar.
Swallows.
Give a kid an opal
What you do for a
fruit.
pack of chewits? I like it.
If you have to chew it, your sperm count's too high. I'm telling you.
For you come in with a 4-hour Roche, she's like, just walk away. I'll do anything.
You spoil me, my ma's boy.
Yeah. Mummy, I really like him. Yeah. Oh my god. Totally.
I did the pavilion on Monday there, and someone that was on after me as I was kind of like saying bye to someone and walking out. I'll not spoil the joke, but the guy was doing a joke about a priest giving him sweets, and he said something
original?
Like, he said
Sorry.
Brona the Cat Diamond is out.
I'm sorry.
By the way, is Brona Diamond a stage name, or is that your real
That's
surname?
my real name. It's the only thing my dad gave me.
It's a-
I got it for my birthday. It is my real name.
Right.
Loads of people do think that it's
a great like stage name, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diamond's
They
hard,
not even give
hard
you
as
some.
fuck.
They not even give you some opal fruits.
Opal fruits? No.
No?
Never got an opal
Learn
fruit.
something about your mum today.
I have an
haven't
uncle fruit. Yeah.
He's
Everybody
bananas.
has one. You know? The old uncle who's a wee bit late in his feet.
The guy,
You know what I mean?
This is like East Belfast does this too. They just can't call someone gay or homosexual.
say, yeah,
Right,
Just
you're
has
right.
to light on his feet.
Wee bit late in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Aye.
In my family, you don't say gay. You just make a noise and a generic hand movement.
Right,
You go,
right.
He's a bit. Oh.
They
See,
think you're saying that to everyone.
in my family, whenever you say he's a bit, it means he just got out of flat 10. Do you know what I mean? Don't be getting near him. His Valium hasn't kicked
Just
in
got
yet.
out of flat 10?
Flat 10. Have you never heard of flat 10?
No.
We are from different worlds.
Flat 10?
I don't know what flat 10 is.
You don't know what flat 10 is?
No.
Okay, flat
Sounds
10.
like a band Kieran Bartlett was in high school.
Does. It does. Flat 10's just shorthand for it used to be. It was the place that you went to if you had addiction problems or severe, probably drug-induced mental
You know what we
health
call that in
issues.
Hollywood?
What?
Belfast.
Oh, it's fighting talk, Shane. That's fighting. Although you're not wrong, right? I'm a realist. It's just that I would say whenever I talk about Belfast, it's okay because I'm from there.
Right.
But you're not.
No.
So fuck up. It's like your sisters and brothers. I can say like, see our Lorraine, she does my fucking. But if my mate goes, she's a bit. I go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
on about
yeah.
this? You know, do you know what I mean? So,
Yes, okay.
back off. You're from Holywood.
apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't have a climbing frame in my back.
I'm
only
also
joking,
from
yeah.
I'd have
Belfast.
food climbing
But Shay,
wall.
like,
It is. I'm only joking. Yeah, Shane, you have full permission to slag off Belfast.
Yes.
Because you're an honorary scumbag.
Yes. Do you know where I feel that the most? See, when I'm doing the feeler, you walk in and they just give you the nod.
Yeah.
See tonight, wee man. The shackles are off. Go ahead.
You're
Free pass.
alright. Get
Free
torn.
pass, yeah.
The feel it is mental energy.
Yes.
Like I love it.
It's just there's a you're just about keeping the cap on the bottle,
Yeah.
and there's Mentos in it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, there's a lot of
Somebody get that
there's a
on
lot
a
of
t-shirt.
Mentos in that room. Like a lot of mental bastards.
yes.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
I'm in a room full of 500 patties. I'm like,
What is 500 patties? I know you were talking about Paddy
Paddy-
McDonald.
Paddy-
but
yeah, literally
they're
Paddy
just
McDonald.
Paddies, Paddy
Yeah.
bastard. I love that like you can be a Protestant from here though, identify as Unionist, Ulsterman, British, and then you go to England and go, all right, Paddy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, ooh.
When I did the feel, there was like in front of the stage, there was like 3 or 4 like security barriers up, and I was there with Patty, and he went, "Fuck's sake, this is the only night they've had this up." And
That was for their protection.
No, they had that up, and I went, "Here, have you put this up for me?" And they went, "Yeah, I'll put that up for you." And I went, "Fucking leave it up.
fucking no bigger.
Let's double these up."
I thought you were going to try and be all bravado.
I was a
there, like.
hologram. I wasn't even there.
He was just sitting in his bedroom going, do you know another thing about you bastards? That's what I love about Westies though as well. Like you can turn around and go, you're a dick, and they'll go, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. And they won't.
When did you get into stand up?
When did I get in? About 2019 maybe? 2018,
Where's late is that?
2019. 2018, I think it was. Because I stopped drinking in 2016. And then I thought, how the fuck am I going to humiliate myself now? So,
Straight out of flat 10 and then the
Straight out of
doing
flat
10
10.
minutes.
That's what it was. Yeah, straight out of flat 10 and thought, you know what, I reckon I have a good 15 minutes in me. I did a degree in drama and I wrote plays, and then I had so many kids that I didn't know whether or not I needed a shit or a haircut, and I thought I would love
How many kids?
4.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Rookie numbers.
Still.
That's terrible.
Willie T, big dick from the Bronagh, pumped out more than that this week.
Well, my granny had 9 and my Aunt May had 16, so I thought I'll just meet them in the middle there. And
Holy shit.
yeah, she married an Italian stallion. But I just thought
Weird talk about your great uncle like that.
that's the Opal Fruity uncle when he's joking. I just thought, you know what, it's on the bucket list. I want to do stand up. I'll do it once.
Yeah.
And I wrote a set for the pavilion. I said to Luke McGibbon, the be all and end all, and was like, can I do a wee set? And he went, yeah, how's tomorrow? And I was like, sweet, grand. And I told my husband, and he was like, what? You're going to fucking do a comedy? When? And I was like, tomorrow, I'm going down, you know. Wrote a set, thought it was a gig, got up and did it. And then I got up, and whenever I did it, I was offered a gig after that. Do you want to do this gig here? And I went, yeah, sweet.
I was there. Was I there
Were
at your
you?
first gig?
I may have
Maybe you
been.
were. And then I used to write a new set every single time. And now
Yeah,
I go the
someone
opposite
then
and just
tells
don't
you.
write new sets at all.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But I think it was because it was a challenge for me as well, and I enjoyed it. You know, it was like I'm using my brain again. Besides, because it was lactating and feeding about 4 kids and
On
just-
stage.
On stage.
When I was 13, you didn't need to do that.
It wasn't even mine.
Willie trying to get in on it.
Yeah, speaking
Do you
of
want
which, there's not enough
a gig,
milk
do
in
you?
that tea.
Mommy.
You look that guy that still breastfeeds, but only at the weekend.
Bitty.
Do you know men can breastfeed? I didn't know this.
I do.
Like men.
Are you telling me that fucker's
Apparently.
been holding out on me? Because I used to lie in bed at night looking at his useless nipples going, seriously?
It's useless.
How useless nipples.
That's the most
Useless
brutal
nipples.
cut down I've heard.
Yeah, just feeding
Like
the
our
child.
daddies, you don't even use them.
But you can't produce. Men can produce milk.
I thought
I think
they
you
could.
You could. Pardon?
I'm not being funny. I genuinely. I read something that said men could. I could be completely wrong.
You are.
A debate. It was a thing I saw on the news
Wikipedia.
about
It could
a
be
man
wrong. Real.
about a man who became a woman and then was like breastfeeding.
No, was it
his
not
kids
a
then.
woman who transitioned to a man?
I don't know.
And it's chest feeding, by the way.
I don't give a fuck.
PC.
Is that only you have to PC for people with small tits now, do you? So,
Yeah. Well, no, not whenever I was growing up. I was called two-back, for fuck's sake. Two-back Shakur. Didn't have any ditties. Yeah, it was two-back. I had to put on about 5 stone to get an A cup. And the chins just cancelled it all out. Nobody looked at me. Terribly two-back. That's me. All the chins. Grrr. Yeah, terrible.
I don't know. I didn't read into it. I literally. This is how stupid I am now. And I used
Clearly.
to be a guy who reads everything. Now I'm just like reads the headline. I'm like, all right, fair enough. That's where we're at now.
Yeah.
No,
Donald Trump is an alien.
I don't think you can put the milk out. You know what I mean? Like I could probably pump out some almond milk. That's about like the height of it.
If anyone could
He's a
produce
bit
milk,
nuts.
it would be you. It would be you.
Yeah.
If a sponsor went, we'll give you $2,000 to produce your own milk, you'd find a fucking way.
For sure.
Well, you can't. Apparently, there are certain hormones. I only learned today, by the way, that there's a thing called the guys called Kaini, and it's whenever. Now, apparently, it's really, really common because it's if you have a little hard lump behind your nipple,
Yeah.
you have Kaini. There's a longer term for it, but they've shortened it, and I didn't bother looking into it. So it means that like guys can present having almost female looking chests. But I have actually seen that on guys.
Yeah. Tell you another way to do that. Eat cake before you go to bed. And then you wake up and finish it. That's how you get tits.
Yeah, that's well, it is true. It is true. More chins and more loose rolls than Kennedy's Bakery, as my mum would say. But yeah, so some guys get it cut out.
Right.
They'll go and have like an operation. But I'm wondering, it is if you have a gland, a mammary gland.
Yeah.
So you possibly could. Apparently, some of them do squeeze it and get a wee bit of
You
liquid.
can't. You can't.
I think you're
You
wrong.
two are so close to convincing me men can breastfeed, and I'm just finding
I'm
myself.
not
you can.
saying that they
I
can
think
breastfeed,
you
but
can.
if you do have mammary glands in your breast tissue,
Yeah.
you could probably produce. It might be pus.
Right. Well, I'll keep the kids going.
Must
Yeah.
be passed.
Pus.
What do you? What age is your oldest kid?
He's 11.
What does he think of the fact you do stand up?
He has autism, so he's a very dry sense of humor.
Right.
And I'm just really glad to discover that he has a sense of humor now, because I thought, right, we had to explain to him what a joke was,
Right.
you know, because he was knocking his brothers out and trauma laugh. And we were like, right, so you have to learn to take a joke. You can't go through your life, you know, getting hit with an anspo every time somebody says, you're ma. And he lives in West Belfast. So we were
Yeah.
like, he's going to get destroyed. He's going to secondary school, and we had to say to him, this is what happens when people say, you're ma, and this is a joke, and now he's so deadpan, it's hilarious. He's got too good at it.
Right. Right.
You know, like he'll just, you know, he'll just come off with things. Like he'll go, yes, Barry, that's the grey one. And he'll go, grey, the shade of everything in my life. And I'll look at him, you know, thinking, are you okay, lad? And he'll go, you know, and that's it. But he's cool with it.
Yeah.
He's doesn't give a shit. I think he watches my podcast but doesn't let on.
Right.
Because I've told him not to watch the podcast.
Yeah. Which is going to
I'm
make
like,
someone
if you
watch
want to
it.
continue believing in Santa and asking me for extortionate presents at Christmas, don't
Yeah.
watch the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's come off with a
Brunagh
few wee
Santa
things
isn't
now.
real podcast.
Yeah.
Is available to stream.
Well, that I mean, so I think I've maybe only seen you do stand up once or twice, but you've been doing it a long time. Is
Yeah.
it? Do you find it difficult to find the time to go do it because of not just having kids but having a
It's
kid
my
with
escape.
autism?
No,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what is good is my husband used to say to me, you need something for yourself, you know, because he was coming in and I was going, you're fucking kids. Come into the bathroom so I can tell you how much I hate them, right? And I was just whinging and he was like, you need to start doing something for yourself again because this isn't, you need to have some balance in your life. And
Yeah.
I was like, right, okay. I wrote a wee set, did that, and I went, just now what's great is, usually the way things work is I don't actually go out of my way to book gigs. This is going to sound strange, but every gig that I have lined up, I've been asked to do, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great. And if you ask me, I just usually will be like, yes, absolutely. It's in Japan, fine,
Yeah.
totally, because as soon as sometimes it's Kurt and I, whenever I'm really busy, we're like ships passing in the night. He'll come in, tag me out. It's like, right, thank you, cheerio. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
I will tell him that a gig is at 5 o'clock. I have to be there for 5, even though it doesn't start to 9:30, because I'm like, I need to sit
Hey,
in the car.
I do that too, crying in the car for an hour beforehand. I'm with
Yes!
you. Yeah.
Just have a wee, you know, need
Mate
to fix my
Sprucefield.
make- Yes! Do you have a favourite car park? Is it a McDonald's car park?
Sprucefield's the best one, just right in the corner of the parking right.
Sprucefield is a really good car park. I picked you up there before.
You
You
did,
picked
just-
me up there, should I say.
I don't, don't want to give too much away, but the ideal place for the comedians, see if you've got a gig slightly far away and you're giving people lifts and stuff, Sprucefield is a great hub.
It's
yeah.
the I'll
It's out of
pick
the
you up
city.
at Sprucefield. Can you be there?
We could go to Dublin that way, we could go to Newry that way, we could go, the
really
Oma,
is.
wherever. Sprucefield, Willie T, how many times have we met at Sprucefield?
Oh,
Weird
but
hours.
that's our wee place to go.
Is
We always
that
go
where
to
you?
Sprucefield.
Oh yeah,
Gigs.
sounds
Yeah,
that's
for
it.
gigs.
What are you,
Oh, fucking never.
what are you doing, Sprucefield? You guys,
It's got the parking right.
very good. You should be a
So
comedian.
we're fucking. That's.
Have you ever had sex in a car park?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
What was it like? How much did it cost? And I meant just the parking tone.
Oh.
How many minutes were you there? I bet you it was like, thank you for. I didn't have to pay anything there. You weren't
It's
in
not-
for more than 5 minutes.
It's not that enjoyable car sex. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very cramped.
Is it?
It gets very sweaty.
But you the cash guy?
Exactly. Yeah.
Stay
But
there,
still,
the
wouldn't
cash guy?
know.
even the cash guy. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't. There's not a lot of room for me, and I'm not the most limber,
Limbo.
Yeah.
Limbo.
stretchy man.
Yeah.
I'm not the stretchy.
William Thompson, stretchy man.
I actually think you would be quite stretchy.
Do you know what I have?
But have
at
you seen
all?
this guy
That's why.
walk?
Because, like, I reckon I could, like, I don't know, would your arms not bend in ways mine can't?
My arms don't bend in the way anyone's can
His arms don't bend.
at all.
We were
Try and straighten that arm out.
I thought you did
It's like-
therapy for this.
It's like the sword and the
Don't fucking
stone.
cure it. No, put some effort in for
So
fuck's
you're
sake.
bendy because they're just bent that way. You're not bendy because I don't want to end up getting hit.
It's
with
like the
it.
sword and the
It won't hurt.
stone.
It doesn't hurt. Go.
Go on,
Oh my
Merlin.
God, what is wrong with William, stop it. I didn't say that. Cut
Imagine
that.
if you're able to straighten that out and then you get superpowers.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
can you imagine?
Merlin
It's
Thor's hammer.
bendy man and straight woman.
Yeah,
We get the
no,
host this morning.
no, this guy, we were on tour.
Stop the podcast now. That's us. We've peaked.
We were on tour in Manchester, walked into a Wagamama, and Willie just like fell. But there was nothing like around him.
I'm
And he
sorry.
just, and when I say he fell, you know the way we fall in stages? Willie just like went from there to there, like in seconds.
He came down in installments.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was so worried about him, but he's like, he
Did
loves
you just jump back up again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Like
literally
nothing
hopped back
happened?
up again. He loves it.
Yeah.
I'm so used to falling
Yeah.
that you develop.
I'm like that too, though.
Yeah.
Like I used to think it was because I was drunk, But whenever I got sober, I still fell all the time.
Yeah.
And it's apparently because I'm ADHD as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And it just, you
No
know, like, see, no. Yeah, I don't know why I went to fucking university to get letters after my name, like, because he always had them OCD, ADHD. Fuck's sake.
I think maybe 9 out of 10 stand-ups have ADHD.
Yeah, I was diagnosed really, like, whenever it wasn't a thing. Okay, so I always say that whenever I was diagnosed with ADHD, it just meant a dickhead daughter, right? and, yeah, and my ma used to be like, what's wrong with her? Something wrong with her, right? She used to, it's terrible.
One arm in the cardigan, one arm out.
Yeah, I'm a bit warm here. Yeah, sensory.
I didn't notice that.
But she used to go, my ma's word for ADHD people is mumblies. She just calls us mumblies. She goes fucking walking about there like a mumbly. You know, like if a door's only a wee bit open, I won't open it fully. I'll just scooch through it.
Right.
Like I won't think I am a mumbly. You know,
Right.
just stupid. And I walk into things all the time. I have bruises everywhere. And I fall.
Yo, you alright?
No,
Is everything alright in the house?
I'll tell you in Sprucefield car park. But yeah, it's one of those that, but I can't say if you fail, even if you were even though you're badly disabled, I would still. I'm sorry about this.
Oh, it's fine, you're fine. It's fine.
New
by
LinkedIn
the way-
description.
I wasn't talking about your spina bifida,
That's good, because I don't have that.
your cerebral palsy. It's one of them ones.
He's just got a new diagnosis.
Yeah, I was talking about the mental health disorder, but
Fair
either way,
enough, fair enough.
I would just laugh my balls off.
But he loves it. That's what I'm saying.
I laugh
He
at it.
does.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
laugh
yeah,
at
yeah.
it too.
There's something in my I associate pain with pissing myself laughing.
Yeah.
So even if I get punched, I'm just like, even if I'm angry in a fight, I am pissing myself laughing.
He likes pain.
A little bit, yeah.
Are you,
in
did you
multiple
do
ways.
comedians boxing?
No,
Will you do it next time?
I can't.
He can't.
Oh, why?
I've brain damage. You can't punch me in the head.
Not do you any harm.
It literally will.
It can't do you any more harm.
Yeah, because you know where you see most boxers now and their brains are fine.
Yeah, totally. It's
What?
just their ears that are fucked up. Have you ever seen those
Have you ever seen any boxer give an interview ever?
I thought that was just because they were all like comprehensive schools and, you know.
No, it's because they've been punched in the head.
I thought it was
for 40
because they
years.
were from West Belfast. I didn't think it was because they were fucking brain injury.
See, Muhammad Ali before he was boxing, like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and then after boxing, he was just like that's
What
why.
is it? He's got Parkinson's?
No, he's dead. he's got a case of the not breathing.
Bro's deathed up. Like,
Did he actually die?
he's got acute death.
He's not doing a Darren Brown, like he is dead.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's chronically passed away.
Well, Jesus was fucking dead and he came back again. Do you know what I mean? You never do know.
He
knows?
wasn't a boxer.
How do you know?
That's fair enough. Like,
Yeah, is he dead? Fair enough then. Well, what was that condition that he had?
Yeah,
Jesus or
Parkinson's.
Ali?
Jesus, what was his condition?
Oh, I don't know.
Messiahism.
Messiah complex.
I think he had really bad, like, psoriasis, though, as well. Like, I've saw people with holes in their hands. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you need to get some hydrocortisone on that. That's fucking desperate. Do you know what I mean?
People with a Messiah complex freak me out.
Yeah.
Day to day, people with a Messiah complex.
Do you know anybody with a Messiah complex?
Oh, yeah.
Who? Describe them. You don't even need the name and shame.
A film director once.
Right.
Definite Messiah complex.
And what way did he carry on?
Just would have been very much like either you buy into it or you don't, and if you buy into it, you're up there, and if you don't, you're not part of it at all.
Oh,
It's
right.
Battle of
just
the
like
Bone's gonna be really big.
no, not Battle of the Bone. Not Battle of the Bone. No one bought into Battle of the Bone.
That's where the phrase "the big I am" comes from, though.
Right,
Because
okay.
Lucifer was supposed to have got expelled from heaven because he said
That's
God's
Idris Elba,
name.
right?
Aye. I like a wee bit. Idris wouldn't give me Elba. Do you know what I mean? But he's supposed to have said I am, which is God's name. So he called himself I am, and he was like, I am. I am the way, the truth, whatever, whatever. And he got fucked out of heaven for that. So that's where people with that complex, you know, that's why you go, he's walking about there thinking he's a big I am.
I went to Sunday school in Tullycornet, and they always talked about the devil getting thrown out of heaven. And I remember asking, like, my Sunday school leader, why was Satan thrown out of heaven? And he genuinely looked at me and went, he was being a bollocks.
He was
And
being
that's
a
it
bollocks.
here.
I genuinely in my mind was like, he was being like in the Bible. It's like Satan was a wee bollocks.
He's not lying, like
Yeah.
he isn't lying. I mean, wee
What-
bollocks can mean anything.
What's the best gig you've done so far? Or what's like when have you enjoyed stand up the most?
What is it when people laugh? What did you I've had some really, really friggin' good gigs. You know, I actually really loved the Union there. I did the Union with Colin Geddes, and they were really good. It was
Queen's Comedy Club.
yeah, Queen's Comedy Club
good,
was
yeah.
brilliant. And where else? I don't know. Dungannon was brilliant there actually. I had a brilliant gig up in Dungannon.
Thought you would have said Ulster Hall, Bruno, but
The Ulster Hall wasn't a gig though.
You did.
It was a live podcast.
dead warm up for us. And the Ulster
That
Hall.
that was
Wasn't a gig though. That's right. Yeah.
No, I didn't do warm up.
Yeah. You did a pub quiz at the start. That's right.
I was a guest on your podcast. So
Did you not do stand up at it too?
No.
Oh, that's my mistake. That is my bad.
Ah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
That's my
mistake.
bad. That's
See.
a Paddy did it. That's
want
right.
it in
Bronagh.
fucking writing.
Brain damage.
Yeah.
So you have an out. You can get away with everything. Just
Not
Oh, he
right.
does.
Yeah.
yeah.
He does. He literally go, oh, brain damage.
Yeah.
He says that. He just goes, brain damage. What
Every
am I
time I
gonna
hear brain damage, do I think that's
You do.
a song, isn't it?
do?" You do.
Yeah. by
Kieran
Eminem.
Bartlett played
Brain
in his band.
It's a song by Eminem. I know that much.
It's also oh no, I'm thinking of hearing damage, but there is a song brain damage.
Um,
Brain damage.
Sorry.
Ever since the day I was born. That's what song.
are you gonna remember that?
Yeah.
But you can't remember to show up to things on time.
Oh,
Can't remember that I didn't do
I can
comedy.
remember
must.
every Eminem lyric ever and can barely remember my own pin number.
Are you an Eminem? Can you do it too?
Oh, yeah.
That's my super.
I do. I
Yeah,
know a
Eminem
lot of
fan.
Eminem lyrics as well.
Do you?
Yep.
What's your favorite song?
Actually, that one is it. What's the one where in the video he's upside down in the tank of water? It's a real old one. Is it? Brain damage?
Don't think there was a video for brain damage.
The real Slim Shady, is it?
No,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
like even before that, or it maybe came
Ooh.
just after Real Slim Shady. He's upside down in a tank of water. It wasn't on one of the main albums, I don't think.
Oh,
Boom.
I liked him before. His
What's it called?
popular
What's it
stuff.
called?
You know when you start to do a tune of a song, and in your head you can bam, 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 bam,
That might be brain damage. No,
I think I have brain damage.
I'm cancerous, so if you did, you don't want to answer this. If you
I
got a
got-
better
we were
rap,
going
you
away
want for
on-
cannabis. I can't remember.
We went away on holiday whenever I was about 12.
Don't you want role model?
Role
Don't
model.
you want to grow up to be just like me? That's a great fucking song.
I must listen to it.
We were going away on
Said nobody.
holiday, and I must have been like annoying everyone. And my mum went, "You can go to the WH Smith in the airport and get like a thing for your Walkman. You can get a tape, you know, a
Yeah.
tape for your Walkman."
Oh yes, you're that old too.
Yeah, I'm 35. So I got Eminem, real might have been Slim Shady LP, and he wasn't like well known.
I had that on a Walkman.
It was now you're confused. It was My Name
is
Is
a
was out
Walkman?
on that. Do you know-
I'm just Marshall Mathers.
Yep. You'll never
At a limpman,
know it.
because I can't walk.
You
I
couldn't
get
walk,
it.
man.
Yeah.
You'll never know this phenomenon. See, when you had a Walkman, like a portable tape player, it was class, but you had batteries in it, right? No charging, you had batteries in it. And see, when the batteries were starting to die, it would slow down.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like it would turn like this, but you would go, this actually sounds better like this.
Yeah.
And then
That
it
was
would
that
just
was our
die.
mixing back in the day.
Yeah.
It was like it sound. You know the way now it's like it sounds good on times 2.5. It's like
Yeah.
it sounds good on Tesco batteries. Half an hour in.
I had that album and I got it in the airport. So because you were listening to it in the Walkman, no one else was hearing it.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, you like it? And it was so anytime I'd seen Eminem it was on, remember the box, the TV channel, the music?
Yes!
Right? So it was on the box.
38 instead of 37 was MTV on cable tel.
On cable tel. I had cable tel.
Did you have your box chipped?
60 and 61.
Is that BM station or something?
TVX.
TVX, right? Okay.
60 and 61. We
It's
had a
903
chip.
on Sky.
We had a.
Is it really? I'm going to check that and laugh.
We had a.
Go ahead, so am I.
Yeah, we had cable tel. We had cable tel chipped. And
Checking it's still on.
I remember there was a guy who fixing a cable tel
Had
box.
ours chipped.
Someone
Did your
here-
front row just play constantly?
Oh, you said ours chipped?
What do you mean front row?
Chipped. I
thought you said I have ours
Front row was maybe ours chipped. That's whenever I walk into the door. you know, Front Row, it was where you had to pay per view the movies and stuff like that.
Oh, that must have come after. I'm talking about original black slim remote cable tel.
Yeah, this was it.
Right, okay.
So if you got a chip, it just meant
we
that
had a
you're
chip.
instead of having to pay for, say, 10 Things I Hate About You, it just played it constantly from beginning to end, all the way.
Do you remember a chip? There was a wee box. It was the wee box on the side.
Yeah.
Right. I remember there was a cable tel guy out fixing boxes, and we were all walking about. Me and my mates.
That's
I
what
must
my
have been
man's
like 11.
boyfriend was called. Sorry.
My mates were going, as this engineer's working, he don't give a fuck. My mate's like, hey, my mate Marty's like, he has chip cable tel. I'm pointing at me, and I thought he'd sentence me to death. I was like, don't fucking say that. And the guy didn't care. The guy's like, all right, lads, and he went his house and shouted out my address, and I honestly thought my dad was going to McGabry. Like.
Oh my
But the guy didn't
god.
care. Chip cable tel was the best. Do you remember it where
If he'd have went to McGabry, I'd have told my dad to look out for him.
Do you remember when like some guy would just come around with printed out pages with all DVDs and albums on
We
it?
call that the Devils Catalogue, right?
Right.
So it's like everything that's on that fell off the back of a lorry.
Yes.
Or should I say was robbed at gunpoint from the back of a lorry.
Yeah.
They have like big sheets.
Yep.
And it also includes like all the tracksuits
Yeah.
and goodies
Oh, right, okay.
that you can
Is
get.
this now?
Yeah.
Hook me up.
I will. Get you all the best goodies.
I love that.
They're not even Ricky Lakes. They're the real legit thing.
I love that when like they'd have an album and it wasn't even out yet, and this guy had it. Like they hadn't even finished recording it, so
Yeah.
he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
It'd be like when you get the movies though, it's someone sat in the cinema with a camcorder. So you're watching the movie and just halfway
People
through
used to
someone's
get up and get their
standing
popcorn and all.
a head just walk across
I
it.
had All Rise by Blue, but it wasn't due to come out till the next week, and it was just the guy doing it with his kids.
No, stop.
The audio
that.
album?
Was it
No.
really? I would. Do you know I fell for that because it legit sounds like something that would happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, speaking of counterfeit things and things that fell off the back of a lorry, my uncle was sitting in the Rock Bar,
Yeah.
right on the Falls Road before, and he was having a pint. And as you know, all sorts of people come in and out of there, and this was way back in like maybe the late 80s, and these people ran in with holding a TV, like a compact TV they would have called
Yes,
it, then,
yep.
portable TV, even
Yep.
though it weighed about 5 stone. And they ran in, they put it on the bar, and they went, "Do you want to buy a TV, mate? Do you want to buy a TV?" And the guy behind the bar went, "Does it work?" And he went, "Oh, fuck yeah, but you need to take it off my hands now." And they went, "We'll plug it in there and let's see. If it works, I'll take it off your hands." And they were a bit iffy about plugging it in, but your man took the plug and stuck it in the wall and turned it on, and it was just a line going across it. They'd stole one of the heart monitors out of the Royal across the road, right? And tried to flog it as a TV. And I am dead flatlining like every time I think about that story. It was a fucking heart
you
monitor.
had the right equipment for it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, clear. But yeah, that's the kind of shit that you would
love
get.
it.
You would get round my way.
Someone just had a pacemaker fit of watching Neighbours, being like, "Why is this showing up?" I love it. Like, and that was the thing. People used to sell meat in pubs back in the day.
Yep.
Some guy just show up with meat.
Yeah. Mate, though.
Yeah.
I
Some
know
guy
that
show
in
up with
Kelly's
meat.
there was up until very, very recently.
Oh god.
There was somebody used to come in and steal the order. So you would say like at Christmas time, you get us 2 of them Nintendo Switches, and they would go around, steal them,
Well, that's
and then
nice.
sell. That's lovely, isn't it? Never steal if there's a direct victim. I mean, as long as they didn't get whipped off 2 kids, but they come out of Curry's. Do you know what I mean?
I'm fine with
That's
that.
fine, I'm
See if you
totally
steal
fine with
see if you steal from a corporation.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, if it's
They
a wee
steal from us
independent,
every day.
if it's a wee independent shop,
Fuckers.
don't be doing
You
that.
stole our fucking country. What are you?
me personally did it. Like the Grinch, I just
saying.
showed up, put the 6 counties in a big sack, and just
Some guy came around with countries on pages and Willie T looking through it. being
Yeah.
like,
The
I'll
Grinch
take
is
Ireland.
green and
you
so
want
was
to
my
all right,
country's.
you want to run? You sure? All right, I'll take it.
Willie, what was you were saying like Dungannon, places like that. When you were like in your first few years of stand up,
Derry. Sorry, there's
Where?
a brilliant gig in Derry up at the minute. It's
Brickworks?
in no, the Brickworks is a great gig, but I did a brilliant one there that was organised by
Oh,
was it
Ronan?
Ronan.
The-
The Kosh.
The Kosh.
Kosh.
That room is fucking
it?
brilliant. He thought that they were fighting with me, and he ran out. Fair play to him, to my rescue, to box with people.
I thought you couldn't do that.
But I was just asking them where the worst place to live in Derry was, and they were really into it. Do you know what I mean?
Like all I heard was just people shouting and stuff. I was like, the fuck is someone going nuts out there? So I ran out and they were just into it. Like
They were loving it. They are a brilliant audience. They're
Derry's
fantastic.
brilliant because it's a different world to Belfast.
Yeah.
So when you go up there, they're almost like, you can tell they're just kind of grateful that you've made the journey.
Yeah.
But you're just like, well, it's only an hour and a half, but they're like, no, fair play for coming all the way up.
Yeah.
But in reality, like,
they
you want to
care.
go up there.
Yeah.
Like, we did Millennium Forum on the, did you do that, Willie, with me?
no.
On the tour last year, and it was unbelievable.
Was it good?
Oh, it's class.
Really?
class,
Next
yeah.
time you do Millennium Forum, can I open for you?
Do you want to do one of them? Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
class.
Willie will be doing it, the three of us can do it.
I graduated in the Millennium Forum. That would be a nice wee cyclical.
Yeah.
Let's do this. That'd be lovely. I would
Wish I'd
fucking
gone
love
to
that.
university.
I love Derry people.
No, I do.
But you grew up in Hollywood, so you were already winning.
I regret going to university, so it's fine.
Do you?
Yeah,
Why?
it's useless to me.
What do you mean? What did you
Well, he
study?
got a degree in politics. He's not
Yeah.
a politician. So
Yeah,
Didn't work out.
most politicians don't have a degree in it.
And I think they should.
I've got a degree in not working.
Yeah. What are you on about? I got my diploma in the jail.
Most of them do have degrees in other things, but very rarely is it. Once you start doing politics, as you're like, everyone in here is talking shit.
Whenever they
Most
started,
of it is stoners, and then you'll get one.
Michael?
very good. Ooh. Yeah. Stoners.
But
I
most
like
of it is that, and then you'll get a really liberal person. You'll get a really diehard nationalist Westie in there, and then
Only one?
you get a couple, but I lump them into one. Right? And then you also get, there's always just a really fat, sweaty, fucking conservative guy. Who's like, the British do no wrong. There's always one. He's just always red in the
So
face.
there's big debates in class.
Yes, and I'm sitting there on a fucking come down, and people are being like, here's how we deal with the legacy of the Troubles. And I'm like, lads, fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put on some Bob Marley, leave me alone.
I studied government criminology. I did politics for my first year in my degree, and I just went, what the fuck? Why is this so? Something struck me right away being in a seminar. It was a brick. No, sitting there, I went, this is really different from school, obviously, because it's uni, but there's something about the dynamic of this classroom. And then I realised it was because there were guys in it, right?
Oh, did you go to all girls school?
I went in all girls primary school and all girls secondary school, and then whenever I went to uni, it was just a real culture shock for me. And I realised, that was the first time I realised that guys can be bullshitting bastards. Because whenever I was in school, if you didn't do your homework, which was more than likely the case, you just shut the fuck up, right? You said nothing. You let all the wee, I know, miss, I know Hermione Granger's in the class. You let them do the work and you just sat there, right? Whenever the fellas in my class hadn't done the homework, they were still very opinionated. And
Right.
it wasn't just like, what is your opinion on? It's, what did this critic say about this? And they'd be like, well, I think he should have said. And I was going, will you shut the fuck up? What is going on here? So yeah, I left and did drama instead, where we all ran about pretending to be trees.
I
Was there a guy didn't do his homework, like pretend to be a tree, and he's like, I don't know what a tree is. I don't know.
How does the tree identify? yeah. So yeah.
You're a
it was
character.
lovely.
Excellent work,
But I
William.
think politicians should have to do a politics degree. I mean, if you want to be a surgeon, you have to do a medical degree.
True.
I don't
It's
those
kind of
fuckers.
how it works in Germany. It's like a meritocracy, so you can't be the head of the Department of Health unless you've served at a very high administrative role in the healthcare system.
Yes, that's true.
As opposed to here,
I love high shades.
as opposed to here, where the health minister is
See, as soon as
for years the health.
meritocracies are brought up, I switch on. I love it.
As opposed to here, where for years the health minister was like, "Well, gays can't give blood because then I'll catch AIDS." Which, not making that up, was a genuine, not even opinion, full policy.
Did somebody say that?
Yeah, it was the policy.
He was
Yeah, but I thought it was.
the guy.
Is that why though? Is that what
It
did
was
they think?
literally in law. Gay guys couldn't give blood because they were scared you could catch AIDS. That wasn't like the wording of the law, but that was why. That was
Gay
why.
guys.
Gay guys.
It's gay gentlemen.
That's so
You
random,
couldn't
gentlemen.
have had sex for 1 or 2 years as a gay man and give blood.
You'd have been all right there then.
Yeah.
That'd be such a, how tough of if you really wanted to give blood, but you loved having gay sex. That'd be such a hard wait.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
know.
year.
Last minute you go in, the guy
don't
stick
even
him with
need
the
to-
needle, you go,
don't
never
even need to-
mind.
Don't even need to pump your arm. There's just veins going like that. You're so fucking tense.
The testosterone's hanging clean out of you.
You can't. I think you can't give blood if you have tattoos. Is that right?
I've heard, and now if it's within like 6 months of having a tattoo.
Because I'd like to give. I've done it once. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, you can. I've never.
You get biscuits.
This is really bad. I've never given blood. And
We can. We'll do the Millennium Forum, and on the way up, we'll give blood.
we'll give blood, and we'll just get on stage and collapse.
At the side of the
fall,
Glen
and
Shane
William
Pass.
will laugh.
Yeah, I will.
Are you allowed to give blood?
Yeah. Why would I not be allowed to give blood?
Brain damage. I'm waiting for you to say that.
No.
He was leading you into that.
No, I do give blood.
COVID.
Oh, that's the blood you want. Do you want my blood?
You want to live? I can save your son.
I imagine your blood comes out like Smithwick's.
Just tar. You have to tap it a few times and all just to get
Well,
it.
my blood comes out. Did you ever put a Mars bar in a microwave for 30 seconds? That's how my blood comes
Right.
out. It's just all gooey.
Just
Delicious.
That's
Battered Mars bars are great.
diabetes. Have
Too
you had a
much.
battered Mars bar?
Have you
Oh,
not?
I used to have a chef when I
No?
worked in when I was dishwasher. The chef, if you bought a Mars bar,
I thought whenever you were saying I used to have a chef, it's because you lived in Hollywood and you actually had
Yeah.
a chef.
no, this was not
Ramon
my,
would whip us up.
Yeah.
no, this was not my personal chef. This is when I was a dishwasher.
I
The
see.
chef in work.
Right.
If you brought a Mars bar in or any chocolate bar, he would at the end of the shift, if he was in a good mood, he'd batter it for you. We put icing sugar on it, present it.
What if
Get
he's in a
away.
bad
If
mood?
he's in it, he'd just batter it.
He'd
Like,
just
fuck
batter.
you.
He'd just batter your dick and make you eat it.
He's like, do you ever see, what is it? All chefs are bipolar. Like,
Well,
seriously.
they're very every chef I met when I was working in a restaurant was extremely like temperamental, and yeah, either in a great mood or a terrible mood. Do you know chefs have fertility problems because
All the
there's such
height.
heat coming from like dick level.
Yep.
Apparently,
I do know that. I do. My sister.
What do you mean
was-
he
went out with a
coming
chef.
from dick level?
well, they're around a lot of ovens, pans, pots, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
that are
Go
around-
into the right.
And the
For
gonads
some
need
reason,
to be cool.
for some reason, I interpreted that
doctor.
as their dick was giving off an abnormal amount of heat.
Yeah, it
That-
was. It
no,
was.
but not from ovens. Like for some whatever it is with chefs, their bollocks were warm, and I
Sorry.
didn't know why.
You're having a moment and you know they go to, and it's just steam.
You get when you're stressed and your bollocks are just roasting. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. I know, because is it true that guys like they go lower when they're warm? Like the sink,
Yeah.
they sink a bit lower.
Yeah, because when it's freezing, they're
They're up there, like yeah.
Really?
right up. They're
And-
they're like trying to be best mates for your dick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh really?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a,
yeah.
like a
Like-
wee peanut.
You
Yeah.
can feel them when they're cold, like they're right. That's how you know it's a really cold day. You're like, you get.
You
into
wake up in the
house.
morning and go,
It's
maybe put a
right
jacket
up
on
there,
today.
like yeah,
If you were in Italy for that heat wave at the minute, they beat down the back of your shoes. Like.
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me. Chewing gum, just kicking them down the street.
Everyone chewing it.
You're like a human swing ball. When they're-
Tell me this: see if your top half is warm, like you have a good big coat on,
Yeah.
but your bottom half is cold, would your balls still be up there?
Sorry, you're
or
walking
would
about
they...
like Donald Duck. Let me get my big coat on, dick full out. I hate the winter.
When did Donald Duck ever do that?
Did Donald
Did he wear
Duck
top
wore
off?
we top?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he didn't have his dick out.
He
Donald
might have
Dick.
done, I know. Is that the one complaint you have
Crack,
watching
crack.
Disney? Like, where's my duck cock? Huh? Mickey's
my
wearing
God.
shorts.
I was
fair
taking
enough.
Action Man back to Smith's, being like, "Where is the genitalia? Where is his penis?"
Am I weird? My husband actually said that whenever. Yeah, that's true. That's why we're
Still
friends.
one arm in the cardigan.
That is why.
That's
Do you know what?
annoying me so
Is
bad.
it?
Yeah.
Here, I'll take the other one out.
Thank you.
It's because I
Praise
was
God.
like warm, but I didn't want to commit to taking the whole cardigan
What
off.
the Donald Duck will call that.
Don-
One
well,
half's warm, one half's
half
cold.
on, half off. Yeah, my husband was saying whenever he was in school, they were dissecting a rat in science class. I know they actually got to dissect shit. We weren't treated with scalpels, but he said
From
that
the west, you won't give him knives.
we weren't. Yeah, I just pulled mine out of my shoe and went, got one here. But he said they were dissecting like a rat in science class, and they were looking at it and naming all of the parts and whatever. And this kid turned around and said, "Well, I say kid, he was about 15." He said, "Miss, isn't it funny how rats have 2 balls and we only have 1?" And everybody just went, dude, right? And apparently the teacher called him after that, was like, "Will you stay behind and
Show me your
have a wee-
balls.
show me your ball?" They had a ball. Yeah, so she had to explain to him. So apparently he came out looking really sheepish, and they were like, one ball, you know. But yeah, apparently, because Kurt was friends with him, he ended up telling him he had
gave
to
him
have
one
an
of his balls.
operation. And he had 3. 1, 2, and 3. He had to have an operation, like a testicle retrieval, because one hadn't descended.
Oh yeah, yep.
Or retrieval, so we did have to, but one was just...
He had 2, but one was still up there.
Well, you look like a wee guy who'd be like part of the testicle retrieval team, and you just get in there yourself, get it out.
He's just like, here,
Like
come
a wee
here.
mole.
Well, his name is Willie.
I love how you said testicle retrieval team. Like we're Navy SEALs.
TRT.
TRT. You go in with just a wee dick on your thing. Yeah. We're here, Sergeant.
Oh, we're going to dick
we
this
had-
bollock out.
No,
Is there
just
a
a
gun?
dick with no balls.
you know, I
And you
love-
get your badges, a ball for each testicle retrieval.
I love this joke. That was something whenever I was younger. It was like primary school joke. It was something like this woman got stung by a bee inside her fanny, and the husband took her up to the doctors, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know what we're gonna do and what we're gonna do." And the doctor said to the husband, "You need to leave the room because this is a bit private." And then she came out and she was fine. The husband went, "Well, what did you do?" And the doctor went, "I drowned it out."
I drowned it out?
Yeah, ejaculated inside her.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was something like that. The
That's
joke.
Oh, it's a joke. I thought this was a story. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there is no
Who
way.
told this
That's a
joke?
medical
As
procedure.
a kid? Was this one of, like, a kid's
No, it's
joke?
my dad.
Oh, right, yes.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was like a playground joke. I can't really remember it, but I just remember it being like
He drowned
at the
it.
time.
Yeah.
drowned
Did you
it.
think that he peed?
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. I used to just not understand how sex worked.
We
Like,
dissected a frog once, and I hated it. I hate all that stuff. Like,
did this happen? Did you, like, take the wee balls out of its jar and then your pet alien in the house fainted? E.T.
oh my god.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking?
Sorry, I'm not even on this planet. I was just thinking of E.T. whenever they're like, he's like, I didn't want to, like, dissect the frog. That's cruel, so we set it free. Yeah. All right, Elliot.
I loved E.T.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Did you really?
Didn't get
It's
it.
funny because you didn't recognize that reference there.
No, but I just, it's one of the, do you know what? I only saw it once as a kid, and it
Yeah.
stayed with me, like, but I must watch it again sometime.
Do you? Have you not
E.T..
seen it
Do
since
know
you
what
were a
it's-
kid?
E.T., do you know what it's short for?
Extraterrestrial.
It's
Because he's really late. I know that as well.
Very good. You got. I like that.
I'm annoyed.
Would you take the role of E.T. if they did like a live action one?
Nah. Because I'm a human.
I know.
Are they gonna make up? Are they gonna prosthetic me?
You're the closest thing we have.
I do it because I'm out
With
of
my
this world.
fingers though. If we had your face and my fingers. I had big long weird fingers.
Shane, you do have you have piano fingers.
Yep.
Yeah, do you play the piano?
No. I've been called a pianist many times. No, I
Very
don't play the
good.
piano. I'm not musical at all.
No?
No, not at all.
Not even whistling old tune for us?
I'm not even a good whistler.
What's that song?
Isn't that the one that they play at the parades? It was old, but it was...
That's this guy.
It is.
Can I tell you something?
Ah.
See, on the 12th, Willie sent me a text. I don't know what I was doing, messing about in the house with the kids. I got a text from Willie, and it said,
I'm surprised you could still text by that stage. We're not absolutely blocked.
Might have been.
the text said, "Are you okay?" No, sorry. He texted me and said, "Well, you read it."
Go on.
Hang on, yeah.
Now, it's like 2 in the afternoon, so in my head, he's been out. He's not home from the night
He's
before
been out all
yet.
night.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Tell
I-
the truth and shame the devil.
I'll need to go up. I'd actually been good the night before.
The way he
don't
sent me
believe
it
you.
and the way I perceived it were polar opposites.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm trying to find it.
Here's the thing. I'm very conscious of how my mates are.
Right.
So
Yes, he's lovely.
if I think you're down or something, I'll always make sure.
I love that.
Right? Well,
I
that's what
really
you
love
do,
that.
You do your friends, right?
It's like I do think guys should have their spaces though.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
he's he's a young guy. He's
Yeah.
my mate, and he's a younger guy. So I
Yeah,
like
so
to look
you're
out for
looking
him as
out
much
for
as I
him,
can. Exactly.
And comedian, you know what it's like on that
Yep.
scene.
So I texted him saying, "Love you, bro. XXX. Thank you for everything you've done for me."
Aw.
No, sorry. How does that sound? Love you,
Sound-
brother. Thanks for everything you've done for me.
Oh
Past tense.
God. Oh my
Past
God.
tense.
So then he goes to me, "What is this? Is everything okay? I
Yeah.
can drive up to your house to see you." And
I
then
would think he was
replied with
about to
this.
shuffle off that mortal coil, like. Show that to the camera so
I'll
they
send it
can
Can we
to
put
see.
that into the podcast?
Oh
See,
my
when I saw
God.
the picture of him in
So
the
he
Union
was.
Jack
Did you
glasses,
go? He's fucking
I said,
fine.
I picked this up wrong.
Yeah. Shame.
I was raging.
Can I just say I absolutely love you?
I was like, how depressing am I to be around when I'm like, I love you guys, and the first thing is like, don't do it.
Because I'm like, I'm going to have to talk him down. I'm going to have to fucking
Whenever
speak
he
to
said
Michael.
don't do it, he meant those glasses.
It's just me with a dragon suit and glasses, like, eh.
What is that dragon
I
suit?
also, oh, it's fucking fantastic. We got Kieran Bartlett on it, and he was ready to fucking fight.
I did
everybody.
feel bad because I was like, I'm going to have to fucking drive this house, pick up a videographer on the way, shoot this as content.
Like one of those
We
wee
talked
do
him
a
down.
Jake
TikTok
Paul.
videos.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, no.
Have you seen
Talking
that
him
guy on
off the
TikTok?
ledge.
And he does like weird. He says he's an actor, and he's like, I've just found out like my son's missing, and it's him crying
Yes.
to the camera.
Yes.
What are you doing, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do
Is this
scenes
real?
from Taxi
There's
Driver.
all those like weird things of like, I saw one where they had like a young Asian girl, like must have been like 6 or 7, sitting on a park bench, and like, so what they would do is they get like a randomer sitting on a bench. Then this girl would sit there, and then an older man would sit down beside her, and he'd be like,
This all
do-
sounds very
Do you want to go
Pornhub.
and get some candy? Do you want to? Now the
Oh.
the random guy's not in on it, but the other 2 are actors.
Oh, is this a young girl?
Yes, and he'd be like, the guy will be like, obviously naturally like, the fuck you do? Like, do you know him and that kind of thing? And then they go, it's only a prank. That's not a prank.
That's not a
That's
prank.
not a prank.
No.
No.
Same as people are like, oh,
That's
here's,
Setting up situations like that, it's like, for what benefit? Like, why are we doing this?
yeah. Like have you ever seen people like they'll be in a restaurant, sit down, start
Is
eating
it-
someone's
is
food,
it
and they're like,
supposed to be
it's
a
a prank?
prank?
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you have
Or
eaten
is
my
it
food.
supposed to be one of those candid camera moments where people do the right thing?
It's that. But why even set up that scenario, that situation?
That's all very nefarious, isn't it? I don't like that.
Because then in real life,
I wanna
it'll
see the
happen
one
and you'll
where
be
the
like, hey, I'm not falling for it. It's like, please help me. You're like, I dead
Yeah.
on.
I
You're a
wanna see
paid
the one
actor.
where the guy
That's a
does
brilliant
nothing.
point, actually. Because I thought at the beginning you were talking about like there's just a girl and a guy. And
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
But it was a little
Set
girl,
up.
like
Yes,
an
yes.
actual kid. No, because like you say, what if that actually happens? Although, you know, my ma always used to say to me, if anybody kidnapped me, they'd be like, you'd be fucked through my window 5 minutes later, like you would do their heads in. Like that used to be said to me. She would go, I don't need to worry about you getting kidnapped.
We were in Florida. My mum told me when I was 6. My mum went, "Be careful, because the Ku Klux Klan are stealing people around here." And years later, I was like, out of everyone you could have picked, I didn't need to be worried about them stealing me. Like, if anything, they'd be stealing me to put me in the shop window and be like,
Yeah,
"This is what we're after.
Poster
This is
child.
the benchmark."
Yeah.
Blonde hair,
Blonde
blue
hair,
eyes,
blue
me.
eyes. Oh my god. What is that though? My brother was, I think it's an Irish ma and their kids thing, because my
Ku
brother
Klux
was
Klan? Hopefully not.
no thinking that their wee boys are stealable.
Yeah.
My ma had a blonde haired, blue eyed boy, and we would all be standing there, and she would go, "Now I have to be very careful on holiday with him because they like taking the wee blonde haired, blue eyed boys." And you used to go, Who likes taking the blonde haired, blue eyed
Just
boys?
picky kidnappers.
No,
That's
you know,
more of a
like,
dirty fur. What you go?
I think they'd be offended if they're like, your boy's too ugly to steal. They're like, what do you mean?
yeah.
Our Jason's beautiful.
He's
Steal him.
beautiful.
Steal him. Take him now.
What's the crack with people lying all the time on social media about being like and it's always like there was an Eastern European fella in the town tried to lift my wee girl, so everybody needs to be. You're going, what the fuck, you racist bastard? Nobody's trying to lift anyone.
And it's so vague. Keep your eyes peeled for a white car.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Where's that red at?
be careful. Brown people driving a white car. Watch out.
Be careful,
know?
Indian man walking around Falls Road.
He's only looking for a fucking
Stop,
car.
looked at me and asked if I knew where Tesco's was. Be
Very
careful out there, folks.
Yes. That's exactly what to do.
In Hollywood, it'd be like man spotted in car listening to Tiesto with windows down. Hug your kids tight tonight.
Shane's just sitting there going, I grew up here.
COVID was the peak of that. COVID was the peak of my uncle's nephew's granny came in, said they're turning the ice bowl into a butcher shop. They're just gonna take all the dead COVID patients. They'll just cut them up, make them into burgers.
The ice bowl.
Something's not right here, folks.
Oh, stop. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Do you know why I am betting, sorry, this is probably a really ADHD moment, but there's an Oxfam in Hollywood, and I bet you it is great. Like,
What's designer?
yeah, I bet you it's all like, Prada, only wore it once.
Yeah.
You
Jean-Paul
know,
Gaultier.
to bring the milk in. Yeah. Like in the ones where I live, there's Primark stuff legitimately more expensive than it costs in Primark.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're going, only one stain, right? You know. So I'm going to hit that on the way out.
I remember, was it
Yes, lads, go head up the Oxfam.
during COVID? I remember in a WhatsApp group, mates having like a bit of a debate, and my friend said he'd heard something, and he said he was getting really like quite passionate about it, and he's like, because people weren't taking it seriously,
Okay.
and he gets pretty annoyed, and he goes, listen lads, there's 2,000 he's like, there's 2,000, I think he meant to say there's gonna be 2,000 body bags brought to a certain place, right? He goes, I've just heard this. Was it body bags? What was the word? Tell me in 1 minute. Right. So say it was body bags, right? He's like getting really annoyed, and tensions were high because nobody had left the house, right? No one had left the house. So what was the word? So everyone's like, tensions are high. It's going back and forward in the WhatsApp, and it needed something to break the tension. And my mate that was getting really, really pissed off. So, and this won't be funny second hand, right? But please tell me we've got it. Right. Say it was like body bags. He's like, fuck yous. He's like, I've heard there's 2,000 body bags being taken up to Derry here, but autocorrect changed.
Was it hazmat suits or body bags?
No, I say it was body bags for talk's sake.
Right, okay.
Autocorrect changed it to dwarves. so this guy was like, fuck you, there's 2,000 dwarves being driven up to Derry.
This week, this year's pantomime is going to be out of this world. Oh my god.
Floodgates just opened, like the floodgates opened, and then the tension was broken.
Oh my god.
Bruno, why do you have another question is, why do you have one earphone in?
Oh, I always just walk.
You taking orders for the Chinese?
All right, look, what do you want? What do you want? That's yours.
Do you always just have an earphone in?
Usually, I only. Right, what are we laughing at here at the dwarves?
The 2,000 dwarves.
Yeah.
Someone said there's 2,000 dwarves. Someone else in the group was like, well, that's for 5,000 bodies. It was just.
That is brilliant. Yes, we're only going to Derry for a short while. Oh no.
Then the tension was so, even that guy was
he
like,
had
fuck.
to laugh. Do you ever try to laugh or try to be serious whenever you're trying to be angry?
Oh, yeah.
Like it.
My dad was giving me a lecture once. I blocked my phone. We put in the password wrong too many times.
Yeah.
I was maybe like 11 or something. And my dad sitting in the car at the bottom garage in Hollywood here, and he goes, he's being really serious, and I'm like, yes. And he goes, what he meant to say is, do you expect me to take this back to the car phone warehouse? But he looked me in the eye and went, do you expect me to take us back to the car phone where phone? and he didn't know it, and he knew he'd said it, and I was like, I started to go a bit, and he's like, what is it? I said, car phone warehouse. He goes, aye, that, always getting things wrong, and it just makes you laugh.
I couldn't imagine Dennis being a wee angry man, was it?
Oh, he'd try and like lay it out, but he would always get some of it wrong.
Yeah. That was the word of the week on the Word Up podcast there recently, was malapropism, and it's whenever somebody uses the wrong word or confuses the initial letters in words, often to comedic effect. Like dung. Do you remember that advertisement for Trebor? They make your dung tizzy, right?
Oh, okay.
So it was like, and you just made me remember there that my stepdad was coming out of the bathroom one time, and I was teenager, and hurry up, I need to go and put makeup on and all the rest of it. And he came out.
I've seen this.
He came out and no, William.
Thank you, chipped cable box.
No, right. You've never seen my box. He was going, you're a bastard. I haven't sank to that level yet.
What are you doing, stepdad?
What is up with that though?
He's keeping that in business, that whole movement.
Who watches
I'm
that?
not him. I'm not. I'm adopted, so that shit weirds me out.
Yeah, sooner or later it's going to be like, I would like to have sex with you, but unfortunately you're not my stepsister, so I can't get aroused.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've seen ones like that. They're like, oh, step brother, right, step auntie. I'm like, no one's related here.
yeah.
This is
Only you.
I need to find something else now.
Only you that would kill your boner. Actually, genetically, there's no relation.
Yeah.
No, just I'm like, you don't need to bring it up.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, tell me your credit rating at that point. It's as relevant as that. It fucks me up. Two people with under 5 APR.
These aren't even fucking related. Fuck's sake. Now I have to scroll on. Do you know what I mean? All you need to do is look in your man's bedroom. She's with her brother.
Lesbian twins. Well, she's 22, she's 48. So, what are we doing here?
How do you know? Do they have, like, trees? Like, you look at their holes and there's, like, rings around them tells you how old they are?
I thought that was a lie about trees, but that's true.
It is true. Yeah, it is true. Anyway, my stepdad was coming out of the bathroom. You fucking interrupting bastard.
Bum, 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 bum.
And I was being a wee dick and I said to him, no, it's bounce, dun, dun, dun. Isn't that it? He was coming out and I went, smell you. And he went, he meant to say, what, does your shit smell like perfume? But instead he said, does your perfume smell like shit? And I went, no, actually it smells like DKMY. Yeah, so then we had a phrase in our house. There used to be an air freshener, it smelled like strawberries. And you used to walk in and go, strawberries and shite.
There's nothing worse when you're angry and getting something wrong like that.
And you can't.
And everyone just laughs at you. You're like, I'm still angry though.
Yeah.
That happened to me the other day. I was trying to fight.
What did you say?
I'm still laughing at the 2000 dwarfs, man. COVID's getting real serious, man. I just saw Grumpy walking up the falls. See, they're redoing Snow White, but they can't do the 7 dwarfs. There was uproar about it.
There's going to be one dwarf.
It was 2000 up in Derry.
2000.
They're casting.
Do you know, whenever I was in Derry, that's the first time I picked up a dwarf.
Thanks for the lift, by the way.
You're welcome, darling.
That.
I was sitting at a table having a drink in a bar and this guy came up to me and he was talking away and I was like, he's awful fucking forward. He's not a bit forward about being back, or a bit backward about being forward, as my mother would say. And I thought, he's just like come up to my table and took a seat next to me. And I looked at my mate and was like, you know, and I turned around and was like, he just sat down. And I realised he wasn't sitting, right? He was standing at the table. And I went, oh, right. And he proceeded to tell me right away, straight off the bat, that the reason that he has dwarfism is because his mum and his dad were cousins. Oh my God, this ties into what we were talking about. So he looked like he might have, I think he was Indian origin, but he was like, yeah, my mum and my dad are cousins, so that's why I ended up with dwarfism. And I was like, okay. But he turned out to be really, really sound. And we all get up to dance.
He's allowed to be.
Yeah.
Be careful out there, folks. There's an Indian dwarf. He's taking seats at bars.
It turns out
Dangerous times.
it wasn't because he was a dwarf, buddy.
Oh, just because he was Indian? All right.
No!
That's better.
No! Because I thought he was a bit forward, coming up and trying to chat me up. And then thought he might have been a bit of a dick, but he was sound, right? So we got dancing, and then whenever we were doing this dance, I lifted him up, right?
You lifted him up?
Yeah. I thought it would have been a great time to do. It was like, you know, the Dirty Dancing super mix. And I thought, I lift him up. That'll be a great moment, you know. I've had it and I owe it all to you. And I went to lift him, and the first thing I learned was that dwarves are actually the weight of regular sized people, right? Like, it's like just all compressed.
They're surprisingly dense, yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, low centre of gravity, really fucking hard to lift, and I do think I'm a bit strong, like, but I was like, oh, there's something lifting in him, right? And I just managed to spin him round once. Put him down. This is the God's honest truth. And I sat him down and I was like, yeah. You like it, did you? He just looked at me, and that was when I learned that people with dwarfism don't like to be picked up. And I was like, well, you don't like to be picked up, but you tried to pick me up. Whatever.
What was his name?
Do you know, I'll tell you something. I can't remember. The next time I seen his face, he was actually on Lee Howard's Big News or whatever it is. You know.
You've just done my dad.
Is that who she picked up?
Sponsored by the car shop Warphone.
Russell Howard's good news.
This his brother does one too.
He was on one of those and he was talking about how he shagged over 1,000 girls, and I was like, that's the guy that tried to fucking pick me up.
Genuinely. Is this your dad? I genuinely.
No, my dad's not Indian.
Oh, he just likes a good Indian. You know what I mean? No, I can't. That's it for me.
Oh.
I'm not.
I actually.
I
might know this guy. Joe, I'll talk to you. I might know him.
Talk now.
I'll need to check if it's him.
Yeah.
You
It probably is him.
You get that to an extent where like people will like feel like because you're quite short, they can put their arms around you, grab you a bit, but it must be fucking very annoying.
It's very annoying.
Has anyone lifted you for a dirty dancing?
No one's lifted me, bro. No, people try and go, oh fuck, yeah. No one lifts me.
See, I told you they're heavy.
And also they put their arms around me and I bite. So
Do you bite?
fucking hate being like people I don't know touching me. I don't know.
I get that a lot though because I'm only 5 foot.
Yeah.
And people.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm 5 foot nothing. Like, and people tend to lean on me, you know. But I was at a concert before, and it was like my first concert that I went to where I didn't drink.
Right.
And I actually thought I was going to have a panic attack because like my sister-in-law kept walking up to me and just putting her hand up. Everybody was like using me as
Yes.
supposed to like prop them up, and I just was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's not
See,
nice.
that's people, and you come across quite cheeky when you're like, do you want to stop fucking touching me?
Yeah. Can you
And
please?
then people are like, what's your problem? Like, you're touching me, you fucking
Yeah.
prick, get off me.
Your tongue's in my ear.
Yeah.
Bronagh, what have you got any like gigs coming up? Do you want to plug your podcast?
Yes, I would. Fuck the gigs. They've got promoters. They're grand. If you fancy learning a new word every week and learning a new dirty word every week,
I need to learn words.
learn words. Right? Yes. I should have gave you the other cup then, the one that has all the grammar and the words on the back of it. But yeah, my podcast is called Word Up. I shouldn't have called it Word Up, because there's lots of things called Word Up. So whenever you Google it, like lots of things come up. So if you put Bronagh Diamond Word Up in, the first episode was my good friend Willie T here, and it was
very fun.
brilliant. Yeah, troglodyte was our word, wasn't it?
Was troglodyte,
It
yes.
was troglodyte.
Don't know what that is.
That's why you need the podcast, man.
That's why you need the podcast. Actually, the first word was hun, but it was kind of it ended up being a hun. A troglodyte is a hun.
Right.
So
I
there you
disagree,
go.
but yes.
Yes, but if you fancy coming on for a bit of laughs,
Is it on all major platforms?
it is on all major platforms. And if you like and subscribe, I sound like those people my kids listen to. Do your kids watch those people on YouTube and they're all smash that
They're
like
way
button?
too young, but I still probably see videos like that too.
Yeah. What age are your kids?
Like 3 and 1.
Oh, you have it all ahead of you then.
You're going to do dairy with us? You can't, yeah? You can do
Yeah,
one of
would
the dairy
love
dates,
to.
yeah?
That would
And
be
Would
fantastic.
you want it? Because Willie T's doing most of the tour too. I'm going to have
baby.
2 support acts for most of the tour.
That would be
Do you want
brilliant.
to do an uprise too?
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I think you're brilliant. And I'd
That's
love to see you at
awesome.
more gigs because I think you're very, very funny.
Yeah, happy days. I'm
very
in Armagh
original,
next
Bronagh.
month as well.
You what?
In August. I'm in. Sorry, say that again.
I thought you said Ramadan next month.
Ramadan. No, I couldn't starve myself for that long. I couldn't. Can't even do Lent. But I'm in Armagh next month. I'm doing.
Oh,
all
you're
my
in
gigs.
Armagh
I'll
next
put all my gigs up on Instagram so people can see.
This is so sad. Cut this if we shouldn't say it. Remember we did that football dome thing?
Yeah.
And they're saying to us, you could put a gig on in here, it'd be really good. And I was like, oh, could you fit people? And they're like, yeah, but 3,000 in for Ramadan.
Did they really? In a football place?
In an indoor football dome. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, it's just funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
3,000
like-
in for Ramadan. There's boys bouncing a ball around the edge of it, being like, lads,
Yeah.
winner stays on.
Yeah. Eat, pray, fuck off. Seriously. No, it's like, that is a bit weird. It's like, you can have a good comedy gig in here, but just had a brilliant mass.
1,500 aside.
Yes. I love it.
All right.
Oh, brilliant.
What? I know. Shut up.
Thank you for having me on. I've loved it.
No problem. Where'd this guy come from?
Was it body bags?
It was.
Was it body bags
I think
the
so.
whole time?
I
Right.
think
okay.
it was. Willie T.
When
Ulster
this
Hall,
goes
mate.
out, I assume I'll be in Edinburgh.
Right.
So
Okay.
come see me in Edinburgh if you're over.
Yep.
Good luck for it.
And thank you very much. And Ulster Hall, very low tickets, so
Yep.
come get them if you can.
Yeah. There'll only be a few left because you do a good show.
I'm on tour, shanetalkcomedy.com for tickets. Thank you for watching and cheers. September 23rd, SSA Arena. We're in the last block of the tickets that we're allowed to sell, so come to that. It's going to be a great time. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Bronagh, thanks for coming on for the first time.
Thanks
Willie
for having
T.
me.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Always a cliche, but never a bore.